Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I wanted to share my number one productivity hack that has allowed me to manage with very clean thinking and a very, peaceful state, an over $1 million a year business. In 2021, I'm only 22 years old, and we brought in like I think it's about 1.3 to 1.4 million, and we'll settle the books, here in a moment and get that exact number, but it's somewhere around there. And we did that with, over a 60% profit margin. So we brought in a lot of cash. I was able to reinvest a ton of money back into the business and really build an incredible program and serve our clients. And how did I do that? How do I have over 300 active clients, over 5 team members, and be able to still manage my life? And I'm also engaged to my fiance, Lily, and you can see a picture of us right here. So I'm not, I've got a lot of moving pieces. And so I get asked this a lot, how do I manage all of it? Well, there's a book that I want to start off by recommending in this video called The One Thing, and I believe it's by an author named Gary Keller. If I remember correctly. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off my air conditioning fan here. It's just way too loud. I hate when it's on in these videos. But I want you to read that book. It really helps uncover exactly what matters to you. You have to figure out, what do you really want? So a lot of the reason why somebody is scatterbrained and they're not actually getting results out of their life or their business it's not because they aren't productive. It's because they're working on things that don't actually ultimately matter to them. And that's an important distinction, right? One line of thinking is if I can do a bunch every single day, then I'll obviously make a lot of progress. And that might be true. But the problem is, where are you actually going? So how do you define exactly where you're going and know exactly how you're going to get there? Well, you have to start by asking some very real questions to yourself, like what do I want? And who am I? And what do I really desire if I get all the voices of other people out of my head and just get down and dirty with myself and get very honest? So my first productivity hack or tip, if you want to call it that, is just get super honest with yourself and just unveil your own desires by being honest again. A lot of the time, because of social media, because you've put a bunch of content, maybe even like this, in your head, you're maybe watching the news, you're hanging around the wrong people, or who knows what it is, you haven't had the time to step back and ask, what do I want? And I personally want 2 things, desperately enough to sacrifice everything for them. And it's A, a happy, successful, lifelong marriage and family. And B, I want to be wealthy enough that I can travel anytime I want and take off any time from my work and be with my future kids, my future wife, and just be a good dad and a good father figure to these people, right? And just be the leader of the household. So I want to have a career that pays me extremely well and well enough that I never have to worry, and then have all the time in the world left over to be with the people that I love. And so I've sacrificed, my 20 to 21 to 22 years old sort of years to start to build that, because I've been able to get very honest with myself and decide exactly what I want, right? So hopefully this makes sense. So step 1 is know exactly what you want, because just because you're productive every day doesn't mean you're actually moving towards what you want. So then, once you decide what you want, you have to get very honest with yourself about where you are now in contrast to those things that you say that you want. And then you have to build a very clear game plan to get there. So let's say it's going to take me about 10 years to build the sort of wealth and sort of prestige that I desire, and then be able to have the sort of marriage and family life that I want. And that's a reasonable timeline. I imagine I'll have my first kid, in my late 20s, and at that point I'll be, 32, 33, when he's starting to be able to talk, and, the time I spend with him is really important. And so at that point, I'm kind of planning literally 10 years out. And right now, all I'm trying to build is soft skills. I'm trying to build team and leadership skills, cash flow management skills, having a great product and market that I'm serving, getting clients amazing results, managing my reputation, being able to lead a large group of people and get them great results in their life and in their business, and also be able to do the same for my team and lead them and work with them and developing my people skills, my marketing skills, my sales skills. These skills are the skills that I identify that I need if I want to get to the level of wealth that I desire. And by the time I'm 30, I'd like to be worth at least $10 million. And that's kind of my financial goal. It may be way more than that. It may be way less than that. But I just have this idea that $10 million will make me the sort of money and give me the sort of freedom, money passively, and freedom, by investing it and just feeding off of, an 8% raise every single year. I'd make $800,000 every single year passively. That's kind of the goal. And then also give me the freedom to spend time with my family. Now, will these things happen? it's yes and no. It depends on what I'm doing right now. And this is my next tip. Once you have the end in mind, you have to reverse engineer to right now, today, after being objective with yourself. Who are you today? Are you capable? Are you the kind of person that's capable of those things? Both by means of character traits and skill sets. Okay, so do you have the skills and do you have the character traits? Well, if you don't have the skills yet, who can you get around to get the skills? That's a great question. Who can you invest in? This is why we do what I do in my company, right? People notice that they have the skills or the knowledge lacking in order to grow their coaching businesses, and so they invest with us, or their consulting or service businesses. So they invest with us. They get around the right people, they get a custom plan to help them reach their goals, right? If it's character traits, you need to ask, who can be mentoring you? Who can you surround yourself with? How can you download those character traits into your identity and start working on getting rid of the negative character traits that are honestly holding you back? So first productivity hack is getting extremely clean by knowing where you want to get, where you are in contrast to where you're wanting to get, and identifying the character traits and the skills that you need between now and then. The next productivity hack is having a very clear start and end time for my financial pursuits. That is my work and my career. So if you were me and you had a financial pursuit and a family pursuit, which I imagine a lot of young men are in that boat, where it's they have a romantic or family pursuit, and then they have a financial pursuit. And that's, it's pretty common, I've noticed. So I have a clear 8 a.m. to about 6 p.m. stop time. And some of you say, oh, but I don't want to work a 9 to 5. Well, I don't have to. I can take a day off if I had to. I could cancel a whole week of meetings and just say, hey, I'm flying out. I'm going to Disney World with my fiance, whatever. I could do that. But I don't really want to right now. I don't really have to. And I'd rather not get into the habit of sacrificing when I'm in such an extreme season of growth, right? So maybe down the line I will do that. So you need to have a clear start and end time. And then you need to figure out what you need to do today to put yourself just a little bit closer to your goal every single month. So you need to see each day as a selection or a piece of a given month. There's 12 months in a year, and a month is a very powerful set of time. I've noticed 30 days, a lot can happen in 30 days. You can literally have $1 million in the bank at one point and then have 500,000 30 days later because you did a bunch of stuff, right? And I know a lot of people that this has happened to. It's almost happened to me, right? I've made all kinds of crazy decisions and put a bunch of risk on the table. And so that's my next step is know exactly where you're trying to be by the end of the year and treat each day like a block of that month to get you a little bit closer. See, if you can get just about 8 to 10% closer every month to your end of year goal, then guess what? You're gonna have a very clear idea of how much you're progressing towards the end of your goal, right? So let's say you have a goal of putting on 15 pounds of lean muscle. It's something I'm working on. You can see the protein shake back here. I'm just putting on muscle. I'm eating more. I'm putting more calories in my body, more protein, and working out harder and trying to put on muscle. So, okay, I want to put on about 15 pounds of reasonably lean muscle, and I wouldn't be afraid of putting on fat either because I'm generally a skinnier guy, and I can put on some fat as well. So by the end of the year, I know how many calories I need to eat each day, how much I need to eat each week, protein, macros, I have the whole diet planned out, and I'm just eating that every single day, right? It's very simple. And then with your business, you need to decide, okay, so let's say you run a coaching business and you want to get to $20,000 a month within the next year, and you're at 0 right now. So step 1 for every single coaching and consulting business, whether you have an offer or not, is to start speaking with people you could potentially serve and getting really comfortable having conversations about problems they're facing and making offers to people you believe you can help. That's step 1. You have to get comfortable on the phone. Unless you want to sell a really cheap course and take 3 years to build a massive audience and never really have a lot of impact in your clients' lives. They just buy a $200 program that they never log into, and you want to have real relationships with real clients and put your name to your work like we hope our clients do. Then you need to start getting on the phone. You need to decide a niche, an outcome, and an offer. Maybe you spend a week doing that. You spend the next week putting out content on 2 platforms that you picked, like LinkedIn or Facebook. And then, so you can see how you have to think extremely regimented about your days. Most people kind of just do this cycle of oh, maybe this is what I need to do this day, maybe this is what I need to do, maybe this is what I need to do. And then they don't actually go anywhere because they're just bouncing around the walls because they don't have the end in mind. Right? So I've got a very clear end for my year this year. I've got a very clear goal. I know exactly what needs to happen between now and then, and I'm just chipping away at it. So step 1, to summarize this video, is identify who you are, what you want about, 5 to 10 years out, and then what you can do today to help make that happen based on this year's goal, this month's goal, and then today's activities. Okay? Next is, see each day as a node in a bigger system. Really, there isn't that much you can do in a single day. Like, let's be honest, there's not a lot you can do. In 30 days, you can do quite a bit, but in a single day, unless you're like out to destroy your life and you you go do a bunch of stupid stuff, it takes time to build momentum. Planting little seeds every single day and letting those seeds spring a harvest for you in the future. And that's kind of how I see every single day. It's just planting little seeds, like a little piece of content right here, or hopping on the phone with a team member, kind of working them through something that they're having a hard time solving. Or maybe, sending a message out to one of our clients and fixing a sales issue that they have. Or maybe it's getting on a group call with our clients and helping them. Or maybe it's, setting up a new ad for our funnel so I can test it. I'm not doing a lot every single day. I'm just doing a little bit every single day. So that's the final tip. If I could really summarize, is instead of seeing each day as this massive important thing where you got to get a bunch done trying to be productive, actually just relaxing, taking a deep breath, and just seeing each day as a node in a greater system. And then accepting the fact that you probably can't do anything meaningful in less than a year. You have to come to terms with that. You probably can't do anything truly meaningful in less than about a year. So when you can really accept that, then you start to see each day as quite peaceful. There's not a lot you have to do. You just kind of hit that day well, you go on to the next day, right? My last tip is to plan each day ahead, or at least have a list of key priorities in which case you didn't take the time to plan the day. So my key priorities, for example, are content like this, both in the form of ads and our funnel that we run ads to, we book calls from there, or so next in line, it's team and managing team. The reason content comes first is because if I'm not filling the pipe, then the team has nothing to work on, right? So I need to fill the pipe and make sure the pipe is full. Next is with the team. So I've got a daily team meeting every single day, and I serve them and I help them, I check in and make sure that everything's going well and up to par based on my standards as the leader. And then after that, it's clients. So some people might feel like, oh, clients come first, but that's the problem. You have to understand, unless I build a business where it's extremely easy to prioritize clients with all my energy when I'm ready to do it, then I can't actually serve them. If I'm not bringing in more clients and making more money and my team isn't on par, then I have no energy to serve my clients well, right? And this is actually like the same motto that Southwest Airlines has for their customers. They're actually really quick to like kick people off flights and stuff. Like their pilots and their crew come way before the passengers. And I honestly personally really love that motto and that mentality, because it allows for ultimately a cleaner, better company experience, as well as if you just behave as a Southwest passenger and you don't cause any, ruckus and do stupid things on the flight, then you're not going to get kicked out. It's just, you're going to go from here to here, and it's going to be quite cheap to do it, right? And it's not luxurious by any means, but it's efficient and it's cheap and it's quick, and you're going to get to your destination. So anyway, hopefully this video makes sense to you. These are some of my main productivity hacks. Plan your day ahead, know where you're going, know what this month needs to be in order to get to where you're going, have a clear vision of the future, and sort of if I were to throw on one last one, it would just be to have a vision board. So like actually here in my room, this is my bedroom right here, you can see this vision board right here. So I've got a bunch of stuff written on here. So like I've actually already done a lot of this, which is cool, but this has been here for like 8 months. So I've got like goals, like revenue goals, cash, like daily sales call. We do way more than this now. Good community. Yeah, I mean, like I've achieved, like, it's so funny how a vision board works. Like you can achieve pretty much anything that you focus on. And so the reason why that's in my bedroom is it's the first thing that I want to see every single day so that I stay focused on exactly what I'm building. Like I will literally be stressed and frustrated, or a day didn't go to plan, and then I just get in the shower and I see the vision board from there and I'm like, right, that's what I'm doing. And it keeps you kind of on focus. It keeps you narrowed in, because it's so easy to get lost in the day-to-day shenanigans and all these moving pieces. If you don't have a bigger idea of where you're going and you aren't able to align your actions with that bigger vision, then you won't achieve it. So these are some productivity hacks. Hopefully this is a helpful video for you. Be sure to leave a like and comment down below kind of what lessons you learned from this video. And I'll see you guys, I said guys, so weird. I'll see you guys in the next video.